Thank you for welcoming me into your headphones. I am Chema, reviewing Bill and Ted Face the Music. This is the rollback. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another small recording of the Rollback podcast. I am Chema Garza. I am at the moment not accompanied by anyone. Eddie, Fernie, and Alex are kind of working on their own thing at the moment. And for the past couple weeks, Eddie has kind of been recording himself doing reviews. And because we've all just been kind of busy, we haven't had a chance to sit down, all three of us. But that's going to change tomorrow when we're coming in with another pretty big review. But I saw what Eddie was doing. He kind of, and what Fernie's been doing, where he kind of been recording just them talking to themselves. And I kind of never saw the point of doing that myself. I feel like, again, I can wax poetics about a good cookie, but I don't know if I can talk for 20-30 minutes by myself about a movie. But we're going to test that out today. Also, because I got this new microphone, I kind of wanted to test it out. So you can enjoy my rambling while you also enjoy these sweet, sweet molasses. So anyway, I did saw a movie. I'm not just here to show off. I did saw a movie. A little movie called Bill and Ted Face the Music. The third part in the, I guess now trilogy. I don't know if this trilogy was planned. Probably not. But yeah, Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter all return, along with some new friends in the form of Kristen Schaal, Samara Weaving, Bridget Lundy Payne, and some old friends also, like Death. This is a crazy movie. So I saw the first couple movies when I was in college. I saw them in the span of a couple months, and I remember really enjoying them. I always thought that they were pretty funny. I thought they really captured that specific time. Ironic, since the first movie is a time travel movie. But yeah, it's always been very, very interesting how these quote unquote kind of dumb movies manage to remain part of the public's consciousness. Especially because only one of the two actors became a super famous person, Keanu Reeves. Alex Winter, I am familiar that he still does some work. I saw one of his documentaries that he did about Napster and about Sean, the founder of Napster. And I thought it was super, super interesting. But even he said that he wasn't interested in acting ever again, which made this return even more surprising. Apparently they've been working on this movie since the beginning of the 2000s. So the fact that they're doing that was very interesting. I think I've been saying interesting too much, but that's what happens when you don't have anyone else to run a back and forth with. So yeah, Bill and Ted Face the Music. This, if you're familiar with the first couple movies, it's if you're not, it's about this two guys, Bill and Ted. They have a band called the Wild Stallions, and in the first movie, they are told they have to finish this history project. So they're visited by a Mr. George Carlin, may he rest in peace, in a magical flying phone booth, so that they can go back in time and pick up different people from history to bring into their project, and they get the actual real Abraham Lincoln, Genghis Khan, Napoleon, Freud, the works. And yeah, it turns out everything turns out well. They bring them back, and everything goes good. Second movie, they go to hell, where they visit Death, and they beat him in every possible game, including, I think, Twister at some point. And they're also told about this prophecy that one day they will need to write one song that will unite the whole world in peace. So that's where Bill and Ted are left off, and we kind of don't see them get to that song. We just leave them be for a bit. And now, around 25 years later, we get Bill and Ted Face the Music, which is a great title, by the way. So Bill and Ted Face the Music brings back Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter. They are still in a band together, but it's just the two of them now. They are married with their two wives, which are princesses that they stole from history in the first movie. They and they also have probably the best aspect that this movie brings in, which is their daughters. Their daughters called Thea and Billy, which is the opposite names of them, which is, Jesus, that's freaking good. Their daughters are probably the best part of the movie. They're super funny. They're reflections of themselves when they were younger, but they managed to also bring their own special little charm to the film, which I found really, really entertaining. The movie starts with the two of them still in a band, going to a wedding, and they're playing their songs, and they haven't wrote that one song that's going to unite the whole world. And they're kind of lost to the point where they're thinking about throwing in the towel. I'm thinking of just giving up. At least Keanu Reeves is at the start. They are quickly, very, very quickly interrupted by Kristen Schaal, who's one of my favorite voice actors ever. You can probably hear her. You can probably recognize her voice from, she's Mabel in Gravity Falls. She's one of the daughters in Bob's Burgers. She's the kid that eventually grew up to be a drug addict in BoJack Horseman. So she plays a lot of very, very strong, headstrong characters. So the fact that she's here live action instead of animated, it's pretty cool, even though she's pretty much playing an animated character. She's great. She plays the daughter of Rufus, who obviously George Carlin cannot play since he passed away, but he does appear in archive footage. So she shows up. She does them know that they're still waiting for the song, and that in fact they need it now, because if they don't get the song now, then all of reality as we know it will cease to exist. Which puts Bill and Ted in a very, very awkward position. And this eventually leads to the movie breaking off into two sections. The reality as we know it is starting to be affected by the song not uniting all timelines. So everyone from history is kind of disappearing and reappearing into other locations. So Bill and Ted find themselves in a position to work through it, to see, okay, what do we do? If we cannot write the song, then what do we do? And they decide to take the magical flying phone booth, and go to the future, visit their future selves, and take the song so they can use it, which the plan shows up and starts being activated pretty quickly. After this, their daughters are also visited by Kristen Schaal, and they ask for help, and they say, like, how can we help? What can we do? So they decide to request the help of Kristen and take the phone booth and go to the past and pick up several different people from history to join their band. And this becomes one of the funnest parts of the movie, because it's a back and forth between the adults, between Bill and Ted as adults going to the future, and the daughters going to the past. And the movie starts just go back and forth between how the future is doing, how the past is doing. And this is a super fun setup for this kind of movie. I like how they didn't waste time in pun. They really didn't waste time in how they're gonna set up everything. Very quick. They could have easily moped out on them not having fans for like at least a half hour of the movie, but they decide not to. They decide to pick up very quickly to do this plan and go to the future. And then the daughters also, they don't mope out and say, well, what are we gonna do without our parents? No, they immediately jump into action. I like how this movie has that opportunity of takes that opportunity to, okay, let's get to work immediately. Let's get the plot going, and it works. It really, really works. The daughters going to the past and going for people like Jimi Hendrix, Louis Armstrong, Mozart, Linglan. It's a super funny concept, and the actors that they get to play these characters are also great. I don't know who this kid is playing Louis Armstrong. His name is Jeremiah Kraft. I haven't seen him in anything else, but wow, he just eats up playing Louis Armstrong, from his face expressions to the way that he talks to the words that he says. He was so entertaining, and he had like 6-7 minutes of screen time, and yet anytime that he was on screen, I wanted to adopt him. He was so entertaining, so good as Louis Armstrong. And this I think goes hand in hand with what happened in the first movie, where they got really committed actors to play the real life people, to the point where, they really didn't have to. This was this dumb comedy, and yet these people are kind of giving it their all, and I think that's super entertaining. I think the way that these actors manage to pull out like biopic level of acting as these characters for this small little fun movie says a lot about the movie. I think I don't know, it's just this year has been a fucking mess, and the fact that we're getting a movie that is kind of just happy being itself, and it's not trying to preach anything, and it's not trying to I don't know, it doesn't feel like a cash grab for some reason. There's something very, very humble and fun about a movie that's kind of dumb, but in a great way, I think. Yeah, at the same time that we see the daughters going back to the past and picking up all these artists, we see Bill and Ted going to the future. First about 5 years, then 15, then 20, and some until they reach them as old men. The first time that they go to the future, they find them in this big they find them in this really dumb, really local bar. They're kind of still doing the same thing, and they're kind of not doing a very good job. On the next jump, they find them in a mansion where they finally manage to get a song, and they're about to get it back when they're interrupted by, holy shit, one of my favorite people in the world, and that's Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl cameos in this movie. He's in there for like a couple seconds, but it's pretty great. And they discover that the song is not theirs, and then the movie just moves on from there until finally the two timelines kind of coincide before jumping into right after jumping into a trip down to hell to get back the Grim Reaper to join their band as well. And finally, the movie kind of ends with Bill and Ted realizing that their daughters are the ones that have to lead the band, which is a super nice sentiment. I thought it was a really nice moment with like them and the daughters, and them telling them like Bill and Ted are supposed to be here, but Bill and Ted are here, and you two are the other ones that will lead us there. It was super sweet, man. This movie was bonkers funny and also really, really sweet. It's weird because this is a movie with himbo energy, if you wanna see it like that. But the movie never has dumb moment. The movie is short. It's like an hour and a half. So it's around 90 minutes of just really, really dumb, fun, sweet entertainment, man. Last night I saw the new Mulan, and I kind of left that movie feeling not very well fulfilled. I feel like every time that I was watching it, I was watching a commercial for something else. Something about the movie just didn't click emotionally. It didn't click physically. It didn't click in what they were trying to do. But with this one, my God, for some reason, it really works. I mean, Keanu Reeves is way older than these characters. So is Alex Winter. But for some reason, both of them have not lost any spark of chemistry. They managed to both work off each other beautifully. And for 1 second, I really thought that we were going to have a scene with the two of them clashing, or the two of them going head to head, or the two of them having conflict, and they don't. They're really they're really synced up, and they manage to work really well with each other. Same thing with the daughters, same thing with their wives, which is whom they're having that conflict with. And just that ending scene where they're all playing together and the song is playing that is going to unite all the world, and they manage to all play together. It didn't make me cry, but it did make me emotional for some reason. It's just like, wow, like this really worked. And this movie, whose whole purpose, we really didn't need a movie like this, but for some reason this movie really hit me in all the right places. It manages to be funny, it manages to be emotional, it manages to just remind us why we go to the movies. I mean, we're not going to the movies. We of course have to watch this in our homes. But I mean, at least here, movie theaters are still not open here. But man, it's just, this movie was so worth it. I loved watching this movie. I don't know if it's my favorite movie of the year so far, but it's definitely one that made me really, really happy to be watching movies again. Because during this whole pandemic, I kind of fell off the wagon. I haven't been watching a lot of movies as I have in the past several years since Eddie and I started this whole shebang. But man, I was just really happy watching this movie. It kept me with a smile on my face the entire time. And I don't know if it's the chemistry these two had. I don't know if it was the just the fact that I was watching two guys that I haven't seen in a while just doing what they do best, or hell, it might have been the daughters. The daughters carried so much of the movie. If they want to do a spin-off with the daughters, I would be so down for that. These two have mad chemistry and they're super funny. Samara Weaving, I know she's been in a couple of horror movies. She was in Ready or Not, and Brigitte Lundy Payne, who plays Billy, I know they're in that show Atypical, where they play I think it's one of the main characters. I haven't really seen the show, but they're really good in this movie, so I'll be down to see both of them play these characters again. I don't know if they plan to, but shit, I'd be so down. Same with that kid that played Louis Armstrong, that Jeremiah Kraft. He was damn entertaining. Also, Kid Cudi cameos in this movie. Like he's in the movie as one of the musicians that they pick up for their band. And for some reason he's like stupid smart. That was a nice running joke there. The movie's great, man. I don't know how much. I don't know if a lot of people have seen it, but I know it's on VOD. I know you can rent it in a lot of places. I know you can rent it through Amazon and Vudu and some other places. Give this a chance. Please don't let this be one of those movies that is skipped. I think even without watching the original ones, this one can be a pretty fun time. The quality of the production of the movie is the only thing that left me with something to be desired. It gave me mad Jay and Silent Bob reboot vibes, where the movie does not. It's not cheap, but something about it does not feel like as complete. Maybe it's because I'm comparing it to the original ones, and I have a soft spot for manual, physical, like practical effects. And while this one has more CGI, green screen and stuff, there is a great job with the makeup. There's a scene where Bill and Ted go to this future version of themselves, go visit this future version of themselves, and they're in jail, and they manage to kind of make them up as, pretty big buff dudes, and it does work. Also, there's a scene where whatever. It's not like I haven't been talking spoilers for the past like 20 minutes. But there's a scene where they also go visit themselves as old men in a dying hospital room. Well, they're not dying, but they're pretty old, and they're talking with them. And also the makeup there is also, that's what Keanu Reeves is gonna look like when he's old, probably, if he ever does decide to age. Other than that, man, this movie was so fun. Maybe it just came out at the right time. I know that it wasn't planned. I know that this movie, it's been planned for like a couple of years now, but it came out at the right time. Honestly, this might be the feel-good movie of the year. I know we're a couple months still left in the year, but this just might as well be the feel-good movie of the year. I think everyone should give it a watch, especially if you feel like just watching something that's on and has really good hype energy the entire time. Like I said, the movie's funny, it's entertaining. Keanu and Alex Winter have mad chemistry. So does the daughters. It's just one of those movies that you should watch just to have a good time. I think at this point we need movies like this. A dumb big movie with mad himbo energy. That's exactly what we need. And I think that about wraps it up. I think this was a nice project. I know Fernie, when he does his Wednesday reruns, he usually does them by himself, and I know he can talk by himself for like 30-35 minutes. I think I'm gonna lock this down at like 20 minutes. This was a nice experiment. I hope you all enjoying the new microphone. Hope that sounds very well for you. And I'm about to close this out. If you're listening to us on YouTube, you can follow us on any of our links down below. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to hear more about our thoughts on movies, please go to therollback.net. I've been Chema, and this is The Rollback.